Hello, are we here? Are we okay? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of regurgitated content where I just take stuff that's online and talk about it after other people have talked about it, right? That's kind of just like the whole stick of everything of everyone. You're not really original. You just talk about what other people talk about and they talk about what other people talk about. But we've talked about that before, right? Anyways, so I have a couple things to talk about today. First off, um, I want to talk about a girl I went to high school. Well, no, actually, I went to school with her like throughout all my grades. And in January, she had a what is it? A Fury Fighting Championship MMA fight. And I remember like she was promoting it on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh shit, how do I like watch this?" Because I can't go anywhere because of my anxiety, So I was like, "Well, how do I watch this?" And she was saying, "Oh, watch it here, watch it there." I never got a chance around to watching it live, but I did find it on YouTube, her fight. So I thought we would watch it right now and see how she did. Funny story about this girl. I remember, man, I don't remember what grade I was in, but it was maybe, man, I want to say like fifth grade, and I was with my buddy at the time, my best friend Louis, who was kind of like a mute. Like he would never talk. He would talk to me, and then I would talk to other people for him, and so he would never talk to anyone. And that girl that's about to fight here, Deanna, would actually. I remember one time she was like, "Hey, can you introduce like Louis to me and tell him if he wants to come over and talk." Like I think she liked him. And so she was wanting to get to know him. "I'd like to get to know you, yes I would. I'd like to get to know you if I could. I'd like to get to know you, know. But yeah, I think she was wanting to get to know him. So like I kind of convinced him to go meet her at her house, which was real close to where I lived. Not even blocks down the street. In any event, I don't think it worked out because she never like came back to tell me anything about it or what. And Louis back then was just, he was going through stuff. He wasn't a mute. Like he would talk to me, but he would just not talk in school. And I guess that was just his gimmick. He wouldn't talk. But anyway, we can get to the fight here and check it out and see how she does, which I've already seen it, but let's get to it, right? So that is the last fight there that is going on. Ooh. So hopefully YouTube doesn't ding me with this, but we'll see, right? we'll see. Deanna Canales, yep, that's her. And I went to school with her. Yeah, she's always been that kind of body type too that you'll see right here. Very small, what they call straw straw weight, I guess, where she's just very thin. Yeah, she's from my hometown, Uvalde, Texas. There she is. So she's doing her debut, and yeah, she was promoting it all over Facebook, and I was like, oh, again, that's pretty cool. Like, I had never thought, I don't know, out of all the people I knew of from high school, she'd be the last person I could even, or not even on the list of last people I would think of that would, debut in sort of some sort of UFC fight. So, yeah, let's see how she does here on her debut. And this was here in San Antonio at the Cowboys Dance Hall. I know they have a lot of random events here. It's mostly country music, but they do have other events like other concerts and MMA obviously, and I think they've had like midget wrestling there before too. So I wouldn't mind going there to see some sort of midget wrestling. But yeah, no, and I haven't talked to her in forever. I think I remember I commented on her Facebook like, oh hey, where can I watch the fight? On pay per view. And she kind of gave me an answer, but didn't really answer it. So again, I was just like, whatever. I forgot about it until I searched for it on YouTube today, and there's her opponent from her opponent supposedly from San Antonio. She looks a little bit on the thicker side compared to Deanna. So there's the advantage, and then she obviously has the advantage of the record of one win. So Deanna is the underdog here in this fight. But yeah, you can already see this Alexia on the hips. She's kind of got the advantage, and just looks a little bit more bulkier, and not in a bad way. I just mean in a fighter sort of way. But yeah, and then you could just tell the way she carries herself. She looks a little bit more experienced, just a little bit. But then again, you have Deanna, who's never fought at all, so or never fought professionally. It's her debut, so you got to cut her some slack too, right? And of course, the crowd's popping because people from San Antonio, people from Uvalde, which is 80 miles west of San Antonio. God dang, look at that Ringo wearing sheath underwear. God, she looks fucking hot. She looks fucking hot. There's Deanna. And she looks 113 pounds. She looks pretty much the same as I remember her from grade school. Man, that ring girl looks hot in those sheath underwear. And yeah, this girl just looks way more seasoned, even though she just has one more win on her record. And she's the crowd favorite, so. All right. And there's and there's some cool referee there with all his tattoos on his sleeves. Okay, so let's go Deanna in the blue, right? Puts out her hand for a fist bump. That's good. All right. She's getting some kicks in, getting some stuff, but she's already getting. Look, and right here, I don't know why she wouldn't get her in like a headlock or something, because she has her neck there ready and exposed, but she's kind of lost it now. She's just trying. Oh, goddamn! She's got taken down. And see, look, this other girl, she's got the advantage with the hips. Look at how like heavier she is on the hips. She could keep her down. Deanna's like way more thinner compared to this other girl. So there's already the disadvantage. God, look, and I'm not saying look at those hips sexually. I'm saying look at them as a weapon. She's like got them on top of her. She's keeping her down. And Deanna's there just trying to tie up the opponent's arm so that they're not fucking beating the shit out of her. Oh, she's getting some shots in, but she just needs to get out of this fucking situation on the floor. But see, and then look at Deanna's hips. Hopefully she got a. Deanna has like no hips compared to this woman. This woman's got like Samoan looking hips. So here's Deanna here, already at the disadvantage, being on the ground. Oh, come on, God, she's getting pummeled and trying not to. She's trying to defend herself. Oh, come on, nope. Oh. She's trying to block him, but she's blocking a little bit of it, but she's turned around now just to defend herself. Trying to get out of that shit. Oh, Deanna's not Come on. Are you defending yourself? Come on. At least hold her arm so she's not beating the shit out of you. Try to last those 49 seconds. You got 40 seconds. Just keep her locked up. Try to get to the next round. Come on. Look at that. And nope, they stopped the fight. Fuck. And this woman just had the advantage the whole time. Whenever she took her to the ground, that was it, you know. But she's got those bigger hips and like that bigger upper body, you know. So yeah, it was. Deanna tried to like survive there, but she was pretty much screwed with being on the ground, and you didn't even get a chance to see her like the way she'd be here, you know, on the stand-up game. But being taken down like that, she didn't have the advantage whatsoever. So that was pretty bad. And then look at this point right here. Look, she's holding her and punching the shit out of her. God, that's bad. That is not good. Oh my God, that chick's getting good hits on her. Nah, that's real bad. That is not good. Yeah. So I mean, God, Deanna got kind of messed up. I'm sorry, you know, but at least hey man, she stepped into the ring. That's pretty rowdy, you know. That's pretty impressive. Let's see. At least she shook her hand. That's respectful. I was good respect there. But yeah, that girl had the advantage of her just kind of the whole time with the weight, you know, and all that. And yeah, I'm seeing the. Oop, I'm on the wrong screen. I'm seeing that fight, and it was just like, man, Deanna just did not have the advantage the whole time. And I even saw a post on Deanna had put that she after she lost, she was kind of like a sore loser and sort of threw a tantrum. But I didn't see anything here about throwing a tantrum unless it was off camera or something. But she said she's gonna come back. She's gonna fight again, which I hope she does. Cause yeah, she just needs to. I don't know, either bulk up in the hips or the upper area, or stay up. You know, like learn some of those holds or some shit that you need to do, like Joe Rogan, and get on that jujitsu shit or whatever the fuck. I don't know. You know, I'm not a fighter aficionado. I know nothing about UFC really. I watched very little of it, but from there, it just looked like that girl had the advantage like the whole time. So yeah, but props to Deanna again for uh, putting herself out there and getting that debut fight. And I'm sure, I mean, she should stick with it. I mean, she fucking had the balls to do it, so that's pretty good. Uh, Speaking of losses, though, we were also going to talk about on this episode. I finally saw the special Brenden Schaub's Gringo Papi, and yeah, I just wanted to talk about that for a little while, just to fit onto the algorithm that is people talking shit about Brenden Schaub, because yeah, he's just a easy target for talking shit about. He's I don't know, he's just really losing it lately, like with the way he like handles people, the way he gets rid of the people he hires, and just like the way he handles his own business. Like I know all that shit's going around with that dude that looks like a white man lion with gray hair. That Mark Harley, he's going around on podcasts talking shit about Brenden Schaub and revealing all the backstage secrets and shit, and how they're losing all this money, and Brenden Schaub's trying to keep up this facade of the podcast industry, or the stuff that he's created, and I like believe it, at least on that Mark Harley side, because Brenden looks like he's spending more money than he's making, and it's just like, man, you're gonna see this huge, like I said, the Great Mondello, like he was up there high and then he fell down. He fell down hard, the Great Mondello. So we could always learn from that. But here's a few notes I wrote down here. I did finally watch the special Gringo Papi, which was only like 25 minutes. And I was like, that's it? It's only, I didn't even remember. Jesus, like, why is it so short, you know? But here's my first few notes. Gringo Papi roughly translates to white daddy, if I know correctly. I'm not very good at Spanish, but I'm pretty sure that's what it translates to. This event took place in Dallas, which I guess would make more sense later on because you realize that he's using a lot of Mexican jokes and jokes that are pandering to the Mexican community. So of course it would make more sense to do it here near the border rather than anywhere else. People in New York wouldn't get this shit. Be like Mexican jokes, salsa, picante, New York City. You know, like we wouldn't fucking get any of that shit, or they wouldn't get any of that shit. So yeah, and the first thing I noticed too when you see him walk out to the stage, if y'all have seen this special, and if you haven't, you're lucky because the special is just nothing special. But the background set looks like very cheaply done. It looks like I'm no artist. It looks like something I would have done for like a kid's birthday party. Like it's set up like cardboard cutouts of a city skyline. I don't know. And he's just like dicey dicey or whatever his catchphrase is. But yeah, it's just not, it doesn't start out good. It's from what here in my notes, he's trying very hard to be like Brian Callen in his movements, his mannerisms, the way he delivers jokes, the way he kind of like handles himself. You could tell he's kind of absorbed that through, I don't know, mitosis or whatever you want to call it, by hanging around with Brian Callen so much. But that's like Brian Callen. That's his thing. So he didn't, get that from anyone else, apparently, at least in my mind. But Brenden Schaub is stealing that, or not stealing it, but borrowing it from Brian Callen, and it's highly noticeable that he is, you know. And then I'm noticing at the beginning, it starts out with a lot of vaccine jokes, which, I mean, I guess back then when he did it, the vaccine was still like a big deal. It still is kind of a big deal or whatever, but it just wasn't. It was too many. It was too long. Like, come on. Everyone's telling vaccine jokes. You know what I mean? And didn't he have like an addiction to Asian sex parlors? Like, isn't that a real thing for Brenden Schaub? Like, he was going to Asian sex parlors like 5 times a day and spending like thousands of dollars, on that shit just to get off. So I just wanted to throw that in there as far as like the truth. I'm pretty sure that's the truth. If you want to look that up, Jamie, look it up. Now I'm pretty sure he had a sex addiction for a while, and who knows, maybe he still does. I don't know, but I'm going off of this special Gringo Papi, which again roughly translates to white daddy. And then I'm wondering, if he's still drinking his whole supply of that Tiger thick whiskey, because from what I heard of that Mark Harley saying, and just whatever, hearing things off the other people that are hating on Brenden Schaub and his videos and stuff, he doesn't really sell it very well. Like he's just failing. Like it's like his wings are melting while he's flying too close to the sun. And he's relying too hard on other people. I feel like like Brian Callen, especially. Maybe he's relying on those people on the Golden Hour, whatever that other show is now with Eric Griffith and Chris D'Elia, which those two guys too are kind of like barely making it too. It's just strange. The people, like he really needs to simplify everything and sort of bring it down a peg, the production, because it's expensive the lifestyle he's living. Or at least to me it is, and to a lot of other people as well. I have written here, as a Mexican, the way he tries to, say things insults me. And halfway through the special, which is only halfway, is like 10 minutes through the special, I have yet to laugh. I have not laughed at all. And he's really leaning heavily on the whole his wife being Mexican thing, the whole like lost in translation, The whole notion of oh, she's Mexican, I'm white. There's the humor in that. I don't get it very much. Cultures clash, blah blah blah. He name drops Theo Vaughn. I know later on he name drops Joe Rogan. So everyone's gonna cheer at that shit. Of course, everybody loves Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan. Well, Theo Vaughn's hilarious. Joe Rogan, he's just a name at this point. I don't necessarily find Joe Rogan funny, but he does have he is a good personality. I'll say that. And then of course there's gonna be a Flaming Hot Cheetos reference because why not? We're Mexican. That's all we ever eat. Our Flaming Hot Cheetos. I write here, God, there are so many Mexican references. No wonder why he did this in Dallas. It makes so much sense. Again, the same thing I said earlier. If he had done this anywhere else, it wouldn't have gotten any sort of reaction whatsoever. And then you could even tell he might have. There's some people in the crowd going woo or whatever. Like maybe those were just plants, like people he planted there to go woo. Because I don't expect these jokes that he was saying to gather any sort of pop from the audience. So yeah, I don't know. And I could see him doing something like that because we've even heard from that Mark Harley that he has like paid for followers, he has paid for views. So like why wouldn't he pay for people to be in the crowd and yell at certain jokes or pop at certain jokes that to accentuate the punchline and make it funnier. And then after all the whatever 10-15 minutes of just Mexican jokes, right? We go into this whole like mountain lion bit. And I'm like, where is this going? This mountain lion bit about a mountain lion that is in the neighborhood and he's thinking about killing it or whatever. And then he goes about buying a gun. He's making those assault rifle type jokes because, those are funny too. Gun jokes in a red state, right? And then I see at this point, he's moving around a lot like Brian Callen. If you ever watched Brian Callen specials like Man Tears or his other one, I forget what his other one's called, but he walks a lot around and he does a lot of shit with his body. He's very active with his body. And you could tell Brenden Schaub's just mimicking that. And I don't know if it's him doing it on purpose or him just because he's been around Brian Callen like a lot, very often and learned from him. But yeah, it's like he's tried very hard to be like Brian Callen. And it's like, dude, this is like real obvious. And at the end, the mountain lion bit ends, and then that's it. The show ends. It's like, thank you, that's my time, good night. And I was like, what? That was it? That was your special? That was like your closer, this mountain lion bit? Like, that was it. And it just ends, and then that's your special. And this was the one that you were like promoting to be the next big one, that you had people like your friends send in videos of congratulations that you did it, like, wow man, it was a great job, I just watched it, you did great, oh, I'm so proud of you. And then he's there like crying on camera like this, while he's watching like his friends praise him for this special. And I'm just like, that was it? That was your special? It was essentially two different jokes. It was all about Mexicans and then a mountain lion joke. That was it for 20 something minutes. And it's like, and you want to call yourself a comedian? You need very much more practice if this was your special and if this was what you like invested in so much to. I don't know. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it was shit. It really was shit. And I don't want to call myself like a person who knows comedy because obviously comedy is subjective. You can laugh whatever you want, but this wasn't even funny to laugh at in a sad way. Like, I wasn't even laughing at it for being cringy or laughing at it for not being funny. It was just not good. Like, none of it was good. It was very shittily produced. It seemed like it was done super haphazardly and half-assed. And yeah, I feel like it's something Brenden Schaub should be ashamed of for putting out, because it's just not quality compared to like, let's say, even the productions he puts into his podcasts or his food truck diaries or everything else. It was very half-assed and very shittily done. And I don't know if he thought maybe his name would carry it, if he thought maybe promoting it would carry it, if he thought his friends promoting it would carry it. I have no idea, but it was not good. I highly suggest to not watch Brenden Schaub's comedy, because it is just the worst. It really is. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Basically, on regurgitated content, talk about two different beatdowns that happened today. Unfortunately, my friend Deanna getting beaten down in her first amateur fight, and also me beating down the Gringo Papi Brenden Schaub, because that was horrible. That was shit. That's special. But yeah, I want to thank you for watching. If you have any comments about the fight I just did, the the commentary I did on this fight, whatever you want to comment about it, I know she's it's her first fight, so I mean, I don't know if she did well. I don't know how well that was as far as fighting, because I don't know. I do know a little bit more about comedy, so as far as that special, it was not good. So you can comment however you want on Brenden Schaub and the Gringo Papi and what you think of it, and how I may have critiqued it, and if was I too harsh, was I just on the money, you can let me know. But yeah, I want to thank you for watching this episode of Regurgitated Content, and like, share, subscribe, and yeah, we'll keep putting out content. Thank you all for being there. Take care. Bye.